Direct News TV. October 8, 2023. Afghanistan earthquake death toll rises to 2,000, Taliban officials. The death toll from powerful earthquakes in western Afghanistan has crossed 2,000, a senior Taliban leader said, adding the number might rise further in one of the deadliest quakes to hit the country in 2 decades. Suhail Shaheen, the Taliban spokesperson based in Qatar, told Al Jazeera that many people were missing and rescue operations were underway to save people trapped under the rubble in the wake of a magnitude 6.3 earthquake in Herat province. Shaheen said there was an urgent need for tents, medical and food items in the areas hit by the disaster, as he appealed to local businessmen and NGOs to come forward to help people in need. On Sunday, people attempted to dig out the dead and injured with their hands in Herat, clambering over rocks and debris. Survivors and victims were trapped under buildings that had crumbled to the ground, their faces gray with dust. One video, shared online, shows people freeing a baby girl from a collapsed building after being buried up to her neck in debris. A hand is seen cradling the baby's torso as rescuers ease the child out of the ground. Rescuers said it was the baby's mother. It is not clear if the mother survived. Besides the 2,060 dead, 1,240 people are injured and 1,320 houses are completely destroyed, said Abdul Wahid Ryan, spokesperson at the Ministry of Information and Culture. About 6 villages have been destroyed and hundreds of civilians have been buried under the debris, he said, calling for urgent help. The magnitude 6.3 earthquake hit 40 kilometers, 24 miles, northwest of the city of Herat at about 11 a.m. on Saturday, 6:30 Greenwich Mean Time, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS. Strong aftershocks were felt in the neighboring Bajis and Farah provinces. A rescue volunteer, who did not want to be named, from Zendajan, the worst affected district located in Herat, said the search and rescue teams were not properly trained and lacked modern equipment. Unfortunately, we have lost a lot of people in west of Herat in Zendajan and Gorian districts, he said. The tragedy is very huge, we cannot define it to you in simple words. People are still trapped in the debris, they are alive, but we cannot reach them. He urged the UN and other international organizations to provide Afghans with trained search and rescue teams, with modern equipment and rescue dogs to help find those still trapped inside. Rescue operations underway. At least a dozen teams have been scrambled to help with rescue efforts, including from the military and non-profit organizations like the Red Crescent. The United Nations Migration Agency has deployed 4 ambulances with doctors and psychosocial support counselors to the regional hospital. At least 3 mobile health teams are on their way to the Zendajan district, which is one of the worst affected areas. The World Health Organization unit in Afghanistan said it dispatched 12 ambulances to Zendajan to shift wounded people to hospitals. Doctors Without Borders set up 5 medical tents at Herat Regional Hospital to accommodate up to 80 patients. Authorities have treated more than 300 patients, according to the agency. Irfanullah Sharafzai, a spokesperson for the Afghan Red Crescent Society, said 7 teams are busy with rescue efforts while other teams are arriving from 8 nearby provinces. A temporary camp has been set up for people who have lost their houses and need shelter for now, Sharafzai told the Associated Press. Whatever is in our capacity we will do for our poor and needy people at this difficult time. Widespread damage. In Herat city, resident Abdul Shaker Samadi said the quake was followed by at least 5 strong aftershocks at about noon. All people are out of their homes, Samadi said. Houses, offices and shops are all empty and there are fears of more earthquakes. My family and I were inside our home. I felt the quake. His family began shouting and ran outside, afraid to return indoors. The USGS said the quake was followed by 3 strong aftershocks, magnitude 6.3, 5.9 and 5.5, as well as weaker shocks. The country's National Disaster Authority said on Saturday the earthquake had killed about 100 people. Later on Saturday, the United Nations gave a preliminary figure of 320 deaths. However, it later said the figure was still being verified, while the Red Crescent said 500 people were killed. Abdul Ghani Baradar, the Taliban-appointed Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs, offered his condolences to the victims' families and those injured in the quake. Afghan cricket star Rashid Khan said he was donating all his Cricket World Cup fees to help Herat's earthquake survivors. Soon, we will be launching a fundraising campaign to call upon those who can support the people in need, he told his 1.9 million followers on X, previously known as Twitter. In June 2022, a powerful earthquake struck a rugged, mountainous region of eastern Afghanistan, flattening stone and mud brick homes. It was Afghanistan's deadliest earthquake in 2 decades, killing at least 1,000 people and injuring about 1,500. My name is Kingsley. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to be notified whenever we post. You won't regret it.